Oftentimes, owning a firearm in New Jersey isn't a problem. It's transporting a firearm that can result in felony charges. Owning a gun inside your home is protected under state law, but the second that gun leaves the property, whether for a range, the gunsmith, or even to move across town, it falls under an entirely different set of rules. One result in how that firearm is transported turns a lawful gun owner into a criminal defendant. Every week, responsible gun owners are arrested after routine traffic stops. Sometimes people forget it's in the duffel bag from last week's range trip. And when the officer asks, "Is there anything in the car I should know about?" and you answer honestly, "Yes, I'm a lawful gun owner and I have a firearm in my vehicle," that, unfortunately, is likely to get you arrested. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to explain why legal gun ownership in New Jersey doesn't guarantee legal possession, how gun transportation laws are harsh, and what must be done to stay on the right side of one of the strictest firearms codes in America. Hi, I'm Daniel M. Rosenberg, a criminal defense attorney, and I've represented countless individuals who have been charged with possession of their lawful firearm. They've just transported it in a manner that wasn't in strict compliance with the law, and they're facing now 10 years in state prison. So let's talk about the gun laws in New Jersey. They are very strictly construed, and they're broken into two worlds. One is inside your home, the other one is outside of your home. So if you're inside your residence, you're protected. You're allowed to own and possess that firearm. Once you leave your home, the laws are very different and they are very harsh and strictly construed. If you leave your house with your firearm and you do not have a permit to carry, you are only allowed to go from point A to point B with that firearm. Now, you need to lawfully be able to own and possess that firearm at point A and point B. For instance, your home and the gun range and your home, the gun shop, your home, your buddy's house to pick them up on the way to the gun shop, you're in violation of the law. That's because you cannot make any unnecessary stops going from point A to point B. You need to stop to get gas, you're in violation of the law. You want to stop at a buddy's house on the ride home, you're in violation of the law. In addition to strictly construing point A to point B, the manner in which you transport that firearm is also strictly construed. You want to wear it on your hip? It's illegal. Glove box? Illegal. Back seat, under the seat? Illegal. Your firearm needs to be unloaded with the ammunition separated and in a locked box in your trunk. Let me be crystal clear with this. You run out of gas and needed to stop and get gas, there is no sympathy. You're getting charged. If you are stopping by your friend's house to pick them up on the way to the gun range, you're getting charged. A single detour, wrong address, or stop for food can break that exemption and create probable cause for your arrest. So many people think, reasonably, that they purchased a gun legally, they have it registered, they don't have any prior criminal convictions, they're allowed to have it in their car for protection. They want to keep it in their glove box just in case they need it. Well, that belief is what fills courtrooms with criminal defendants. New Jersey law doesn't care about intent, it cares about possession and the condition it was in when it was discovered. So a routine traffic stop for someone who genuinely believes that they're in compliance with the law, they're going to disclose this information to law enforcement, that they have a firearm, that it's in their car, and that they believe they lawfully possess it. They're going to be asked out of the vehicle, they're going to be arrested, they're going to be charged with a crime of the second degree, which is subject to the Graves Act. That exposes you to between 5 and 10 years in state prison, 3.5 of which must be served without the possibility of parole. So how do you get out from under that? This is a tremendously heavy lift in New Jersey because the laws are so strict. And there is no defense to ignorance in the law. There is no good faith exception. So in order to defend you, we need to challenge every aspect of the case. Number one, was this a lawful stop? Was there justification in effectuating the motor vehicle stop? Was there a lawful reason for them to search your vehicle? Did you provide information in violation of your Fifth Amendment privilege? Are there any lawful exceptions that may apply to you? If the case can't be beat entirely, are you eligible for a diversionary program like pretrial intervention, which could result in a complete dismissal? If we can't beat the case entirely and we can't get you into a diversionary program, the next avenue is to try to get a Graves Act waiver, which is essentially asking the court to sentence you outside of the mandatory minimum 3.5-year period of parole ineligibility. These laws are harsh and they are strictly construed, and they're changing all the time. This is not a fair fight. You need to be extremely mindful of what the laws are when you're transporting a firearm in New Jersey. And with that in mind, here's a tip for everyone who is a lawful gun owner who wants to avoid being jammed up. In light of a recent United States Supreme Court decision, New Jersey residents are now able to get permits to carry. If you apply for and obtain your permit to carry, the laws for transportation change significantly. You are now allowed to travel with your firearm, and it doesn't have to be in your trunk. You now are much less likely to be exposed to a second-degree felony charge. We have information on our website laying out detailed instructions on how to successfully apply for and obtain your permit to carry a firearm in New Jersey. The bottom line is that the gun laws in New Jersey are extremely harsh and they are strictly construed. We know because as former prosecutors, we used to enforce these laws and they are ice cold and there's no sympathy for defendants. So you really need to get ahead of this, be aware of what the laws are, and get educated. So if you or someone you know is facing a gun charge in the state of New Jersey, don't go with this alone. Contact our office. We'll take the time we need to assess your situation, lay out a customized defense strategy specific to your situation, put you in the best position for the best possible result. We have your back. That's what we do.